In every country, there are moments when the sense of safety collapses. Moments when a peaceful town suddenly becomes the stage of unimaginable horror. In Australia, a land known for its tranquility, its distance from global conflicts, there was one such day that changed everything. April 28, 1996. A date forever etched into the nation's memory. On that day, dozens of innocent lives were taken in a brutal massacre carried out by a single man, Martin Bryant. But who was this man? How did a boy, born in the quiet suburbs of Tasmania, grow up to become the perpetrator of the deadliest mass shooting in Australian history? This is not just a crime story. It's a story about neglect, about mental isolation, and about what can happen when a misunderstood child is left without help. Martin Bryant was born in 1967 in Hobart, the capital of Tasmania. From his earliest years, it was clear that Martin was different. He struggled with communication, and he didn't behave like other children his age. School was a daily battle. Teachers noticed his unusual behavior, sudden fits of anger, strange laughter at inappropriate times, and a lack of focus. Classmates avoided him, often mocking or bullying him. Later reports confirmed that his IQ was far below average, and that he suffered from mental disorders that left him living in a world of his own. But at the time, Martin received no serious therapy or intervention. Instead, he grew up isolated, misunderstood, and disconnected from the society around him. As Martin grew older, things didn't improve. During his teenage years, he became even more isolated. He struggled to form relationships, and his outbursts became more intense. Society labeled him an outcast, and slowly, Martin began slipping deeper into his own dark thoughts. Then, tragedy struck. In 1993, his father died. For Martin, his father had been the only stable figure in his life. With that loss, Martin became even more unstable, drifting into bizarre behavior, buying weapons, traveling without purpose, and showing an unhealthy fascination with violence. It was a sunny Sunday in Port Arthur, a popular tourist site in Tasmania. Families, couples, and visitors filled the historic town, enjoying the day. But within hours, the town would become the scene of a nightmare. Martin Bryant arrived carrying a semi-automatic rifle. He entered the Broad Arrow Cafe, sat quietly, ordered food, then without warning, pulled out his weapon and opened fire. Within moments, over 20 people were gunned down inside the cafe. Screams filled the air, chaos erupted, and blood stained the floor. But Martin didn't stop there. He walked outside, into the streets, into the parking lot, shooting at anyone in sight. Men, women, children. No one was spared. People tried to hide behind cars, behind walls, or ran desperately for their lives, but the bullets came too fast. By the end of that horrific day, 35 people were dead, and more than 20 were injured. It was the worst mass shooting in modern Australian history. Police eventually surrounded Martin after a tense standoff. When captured, officers described him as detached, erratic, and disturbingly unaware of the scale of what he had done. During interrogations, he laughed at inappropriate moments, spoke in broken sentences, and showed no genuine remorse. The trial moved quickly. Martin Bryant was convicted and sentenced to life imprisonment, 35 life sentences without parole. To this day, he remains locked away in solitary confinement, cut off from the world he never seemed to fit into. The massacre did not only devastate families and communities, it shook the entire nation. Within days, the Australian government responded with one of the most sweeping gun reforms in the world. Semi-automatic rifles were banned, strict licensing laws were introduced, and a national gun buyback program collected over 500,000 firearms. Australia would never be the same again, and many credit those reforms with preventing future mass shootings on a similar scale. The story of Martin Bryant is not just about a killer. It's about deeper questions. Could he have been stopped if he had received proper care as a child? Did society's neglect and isolation help push him toward violence? Or was his fate sealed from the beginning? Today, Martin Bryant remains behind bars. Meanwhile, Port Arthur stands as a silent reminder of that tragic day, a place where tourists once gathered in peace, now forever marked by blood. This story is a chilling warning. Behind every misunderstood child may lie a future no one expects, unless we choose to act.